I can remember it clearly. I was 13 and in seventh grade. I was madly in love with Anne. I would tell you her last name, but I could never spell it. Maybe it wasn't real love, just puppy love. But I couldn't think of anything other than Anne. She was a friend, and we socialized often. But she was dating another friend of mine, Justin. Crazy as it sounds, Justin's best friend, Josh, would often tell her she should break up with him and go out with me. I felt a bit uncomfortable with this, not wanting to be the other guy, especially since Justin was a friend. One morning before school on a rainy spring day, the entire school was in the gymnasium. A group of Anne's friends excitedly ran up to me and asked, are you still interested in Anne? Giggle, giggle, giggle. Obviously, my response was with wide eyes, yes. She broke up with Justin and wanted to know, was thinking, yeah, another one of her friends interrupted the first friend. She wants to know if you'll go out with her. With a shocked look on my face, I replied, yes, of course, yes. The entire day I was floating in the air with excitement. There were two groups of students in each grade. She was in the other group. The only time we ever saw each other during the school day was at lunch. And that was not every day. Some days we had different lunches. It was a mixed up type of schedule. I didn't see her at all that day. That afternoon, I went to a place called the Hinsdale Youth Center. This is a place where I usually hung out with Anne. I was hoping to see my new girlfriend, my love. She wasn't there. One of her friends, who excitedly rushed up to me that morning, was. Uncomfortably, her friend approached me. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Yeah, so Anne, wants to break up. What? Yeah, she, yeah, she doesn't want to go out with you anymore. I remember all the ingredients of that moment. I recall the late afternoon smell of the early spring entering through the windows of the Hinsdale Youth Center. I could even smell the musty, stale dryness of the winter leaving. The flicker of the lights on the pale blue walls and the peeling tile on the floor. The sound of pool balls cracking against each other and the ding, clang, and chime of pinball machine interacting with the excited, playful laughter of the 6 to 14-year-old members of the HYC. I can even still feel the hair on my skin standing up against the shock of the news. I even felt the intense, eternal emotions of that moment. I didn't cry, although I choked down my feelings. Anne wasn't there, but Justin was. He approached me and said, "Crazy stuff with Anne, huh?" I didn't quite know what he meant, so I just replied, "Yeah." Justin continued, "She was bragging all day that she had this new boyfriend after I broke up with her this morning. I guess I got a bit jealous, so I took her back." Whoa, that's not what I thought happened. I was told that she broke up with him and used me to make Justin jealous. I didn't say anything, excusing myself to use the bathroom. It was there that I cried. When I left the bathroom minutes later, I recall a song playing on the radio. Live 105.5, today's best hits. Years traveled by, and I was listening to a classic rock station being broadcast over the speakers while I attended UMass. That same song began playing. Hold on, little girl, show me what he's done to you. Stand up, little girl, a broken heart can't be that bad. Did you hear that? Music I used to listen to when I was in middle school is now called classical rock. I guess I'm getting old. I was only in college, but standing in line to get food at UMass was the first time I heard that song that I heard 8 years earlier as I exited the HYC bathroom. Instantly, I could smell the spring, taste the leaving winter. The lights even flickered on the faded floors of the eatery coincidentally called the Blue Wall. The hair on my arm stood up tall and emotions flooded back. I didn't cry, but I came close. That was the closest to crying I experienced since I was 13, an experience that certainly changed me. That moment when I was 13 hardened my heart. I became callous and emotionally apathetic. I wouldn't let someone hurt me and play with my heart ever again. I've softened since being a father, and that's a different story. But that moment at the Hinsdale Youth Center when I was 13 was a milestone in my life.